Hi, this is Connor from Exploding Kittens, and I'm going to teach you how to play What Were You Thinking in just a few minutes. There are two different game modes, Cooperative and Competitive. Let's start with Cooperative mode because everyone is on the same team and you'll all win or lose together. To play, there will be one guesser, and everyone else will try to get the guesser to correctly guess a secret word. To do that, you'll all look at a card with a secret word and then give clues to try to get the guesser to guess it. But every time you give a clue, you also mark the space on the board with the first letter of the clue you gave. At first, this is easy, but as fewer and fewer spaces on the board remain, finding the right clues becomes harder and harder. If you mark off 5 spaces on the board in a row, you win. To set up the game, place the board in the middle of the table, then shuffle the letter tiles and put them letter side up on the board so the entire board is filled. It doesn't matter which letter tiles go where. Now let's look at the deck of cards. Each card has 4 words on it, numbered 1 through 4. Pick one number to use throughout the entire game. Then shuffle the cards and place them with your chosen number face down to form a draw pile. Leave some room for a discard pile as well. Finally, pick a player to be the first guesser and you're ready to start. To play the game, the guesser will draw a card and hold it so that everyone can see the secret word except for them. Next, the other players will discuss and agree on a 2-word clue to get the guesser to say the secret word on the card. All clues given must consist of 2 words. The first letter of each word in your 2-word clue must be available on the board. And every time you give a 2-word clue, those 2 first letters will be removed from the board. For example, the secret word was penguin, and you wanted to give the 2-word clue waddling tuxedo. The W for waddling and T for tuxedo letter tiles must be available on the board. And then, of course, you'll remove them. The 2-word clue you give can be any 2 words. They can be in any language, and you can even sing them if you think it will help. But your clues can't contain the secret word, part of the secret word, or any form of the secret word in any language. You also aren't allowed to gesture. Okay, now for the strangest part of the game. You're all going to have to agree on the 2-word clue and then decide on one player to give the 2-word clue. This means that before that person can give the clue to the guesser, you're going to have a very strange conversation. It might sound like, I have a great clue using W and B. W and B? I have a good one for W and T. W and T? Are you sure? What's the T? Trust me, it's so good. Okay, go for it. Waddling tuxedo. As you have this very strange conversation, you're not allowed to cheat, so there's a few rules you have to follow. You are allowed to discuss the starting letters for the clues you want to give, discuss your confidence. For example, you can say, I'm 70% sure they'll guess it with my clue. But you're not allowed to cheat. That means you can't say something like, my clue is about the brand name, or my clue is a synonym of the secret word. If you break these rules, immediately remove any single letter tile from the board, then start a new round with the same guesser. Once the 2-word clue is said out loud, the guesser is only allowed to make one guess. The guess can only be a single word. Remember, all secret words are simple, single-word nouns. Okay, now you've made your guess. So what happens? Well, if the guesser was right, flip over the 2-letter tiles of the starting letters from the 2-word clue. To win the game, you'll need 5 flipped tiles in a row. So this gets you closer to winning. But it also removes those letters from the board, so you can't use them again in future clues. If there are multiple letter tiles with the same letter, you get to choose which one of them to flip. If the guesser was wrong, remove the 2 letter tiles from the board. This means you can't use those letters in the future, but you also don't get credit for them, as you try to get 5 spaces in a row to win. There's one special rule if you're feeling really confident. You can choose to give a 1-word clue instead of a 2-word clue. If the guesser correctly guesses the secret word off your 1-word clue, they will flip over the single letter tile from the clue, plus any adjacent letter tile they'd like. But if the guesser is wrong, then you have to remove the single letter tile from the clue, plus any adjacent letter tile you'd like. After flipping or removing the letter tiles, move clockwise around the table with the next player as the guesser and the next card. You all win the game as soon as you have 5 flipped tiles in a row in any direction. You lose if you have 6 or more tiles removed from the board. That's it. Now you're ready to start playing cooperative mode. Once you've played a few games, you might be ready for a cutthroat battle between 2 teams. Let's talk about competitive mode. Your goal is to be the first team to get 5 spaces of your team's color in a row. To set up a competitive game, split into 2 teams, the yellow team and the pink team. It's okay if one team has more players than the other. Each team picks a player to be their first guesser. Set up the rest of the game as you would for cooperative mode. To start the round, both guessers close their eyes. Then, any one of the other players flips over the top card from the draw pile to reveal a single shared secret word. Make sure all players on both teams can see it, except obviously the two guessers with their eyes closed. Now the two teams will try to think of clues to get their respective guessers to guess the secret word. But only one team will get to give a clue. Your team can discuss 2-word clues all you want, following the same rules from Cooperative mode. When you're ready to give a clue, try to be the first team to flip over the card so the secret word is now face down. If you're the first team to flip over the card, you get to try your clue first. But also, you must immediately give your clue. The moment a team flips over the card, all talking must stop. But wait, even though you flipped the card first, you will fail if you can't give your clue within 5-ish seconds of flipping the card. Anyone else on your team speaks after you flip the card. If any of these things happen, the other team gets to change one letter tile to their team's color by either flipping or removing it. Then start a new round with the same guessers. After a clue has been said, the guesser from that team gets to try to guess the secret word. If the guesser was right, change the 2-letter tiles to the guesser's team color by either flipping them for yellow or removing them for pink. If the guesser was wrong, change the 2-letter tiles to the other team's color. After flipping or removing the letter tiles, move clockwise around the table to the next guesser on both teams, and start a new round with a new card. 1-word clues are allowed in competitive mode as well. Just follow the same rules as cooperative mode. The first team to get any 5 spaces of their team's color in a row wins. If it's not possible to get 5 spaces in a row for both teams, the team with the most spaces on the board wins. And if it's still tied, play again. That's it. Have fun.